to that in just a little bit. Oh, it's Spade, that's right. If you want. Because Oni just disappeared. Alright, we do have someone going. We have my girl Alias coming up on the mic.
Hello.
How you doing?
Tired.
Yeah, me too.
That's about it right now.
So first on screen we have Hobbes and Spade going in right now. Spade the Youngling versus Hobbes the Mario.
Yeah, I'm not especially familiar with Spade, but Hobbes, definitely a notable name in the mid-Tennessee scene.
Oh,
strong, up-and-coming Mario player. I believe he's still, like, middle school or, like, early high school.
Oh yeah, he is very young. I know he went to, like, a high schooler invitational for a scholarship and got, like, 4th place.
Yeah. Either way, showing that his age is not equal to inexperience.
Oh yeah.
He's apparently doing fairly well, up a little bit in percent right now. Weaving around Spade's projectiles, eventually gonna get in, lands the throw combo, goes for the fair read, but not gonna quite land it.
Right now, Spade finally getting an opening of his own, 80 to 85%. Not doing awful so far. Mario does have a lot of good tools to deal with Youngling's pressure, but when you're in a situation like this, there's not much you can do. Getting hit by that up air, not to be able to take the stock just yet. Using that nair to get a nice and safe landing.
Yeah, I'm being forced to respect every single projectile Spade throws at him up close, just because he doesn't have the cape to deal with it. Like at that distance. Now, Hobbes playing around the projectiles really well again, trying to keep Spade in this offstage situation. Eventually lets him back on stage, tacks on a little bit of extra damage, and now he's flipped the field.
Right now, Hobbes is trying to find a way to take the stock, but actually using that up B to snipe Hobbes from the ledge. It's a great use of all of those tools. Finally, that up tilt going to take the first stock. Spade at 130% has got to be very careful with how he goes for this opening.
Yeah. Hobbes looking for the up smash. Just kind of surprised he didn't do that at the that last stock. But anyways, Spade now tacking on quite a bit of extra percent.
Now Spade is just going to try and keep as much space as possible because he doesn't want to lose the stock early. That back throw might be able to take it. Not quite.
Good DI coming out from Spade. This is the bomb to try and get himself back on stage and out. He's just going all out. Once his extra percentage doesn't matter, even if it costs him his life.
And he's just going to go for as many openings as he can. He does have the tools to really make a strategy. Already 71% on Hobbes. F-tilt not to be able to take it, but with no jump. Yeah, Spade is not making it back.
Downward angle forward tilt. I believe the strongest of them. Not entirely sure if it's something farthest, but either way, more than enough to take out a Youngling without a jump. But now, Hobbes finds himself in a really disadvantageous situation. Down 104 to 14 percentage and off stage. He does manage to work his way back on stage, goes for the down air into back air, but not quite fast enough to land it. Spade's gonna take it to the down air.
And that down air, you gotta be really worried about it because it is just such a fast move, almost unreactable, really. Now Spade has a very nice lead going on here, and still on the second stock, as Hobbes is struggling to make anything happen. It's such a shift from the beginning.
Hobbes finally does have Spade off stage, goes for the forward smash, and it just barely misses. Either way though, Hobbes finding a couple of openings on Spade that has to disengage. Spade just goes right back to setting up with his projectiles.
Right now, Nair not really going to do much for him, or at least get Spade off of him. Now Spade is just trying to find a way to finish up this game number one, really utilizing Boomerang into fair, as it is such a great kill confirm. Another now to shield. Hobbes is really in a situation in that is going to be able to take a game one, going to Spade in a 2.
Yeah, Nair taking away the jump, that'll be more than enough to take out Mario. And Spade with a very strong game one.
Oh, definitely. Like Hobbes had a general idea of how to deal with Youngling, but when it came to how to DI the combos and everything, it didn't feel like there was.
Yeah, that's one of the issues that you're gonna run into with Youngling. Just
definitely.
there are only like extremely tight, extremely small windows that you can actually get out of his combos. And if you're not ready for them, say with like very quick nair or an air dodge, you're gonna just find yourself in an even worse position if you try and mash an option.
Definitely. Now for game number 2, we are going to be seeing small battlefield from Hobbes, actually.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a solid counter pick for him. I like that he's reducing the amount of space that Spade has to work with, upping the pressure. My one issue with this is I feel like it's almost not enough of... It's still too much space for Spade to work with, and I get that Mario does like these platforms in terms of combos, but Spade still has a lot of space to work with, and Youngling's not exactly that close to having platforms either.
Oh, definitely. Going into this game number 2, like Hobbes doesn't care about the platforms. It's already started with a nice, strong opening, but Spade immediately closing that gap.
Combo not quite connecting, but Hobbes manages to land another conversion anyways. 83% on Spade. Hobbes again starts out the game very strong. Spade already starting to work his way back.
Fair off the ledge, just trying to get Hobbes off of him. Comes in there out of shield. And an unfortunate air dodge is going to compensate the stock. You hate to see it, but I mean, anything to give Hobbes that stock, you're going to take it in this situation.
Buffer system really working against Spade right there. Not too far behind in terms of percent. 92 is relatively fine for Youngling. Doesn't really struggle with killing with these combos. And Hobbes, he's been able to stay alive, but he hasn't really been able to go much for damage. But now it's starting to pile up. 43%. Hobbes still standing firm on this first stock.
And Hobbes, like you said, standing strong. Spade is just trying to find a way to take this stock. Ledge trap situation, barely looking at arrow, but the forward throw, not going to be able to take it just yet. This is while the projectiles is going to be scuffed out by that cape. No tech from Hobbes is still going to live. Finally, that down smash from Spade going to be able to take the stock, taking 52% in the process. Definitely not something that can be made of.
Yeah. Hobbes still with a lot of pressure right now. He knows he doesn't have to approach nearly as much, but if he doesn't approach, Spade still has all these projectiles that he can use to set up, so Hobbes is going to have to be worried about that.
Hobbes trying to find a safe way to take this second stock, just safe pressure with those back airs, that those fireballs, everything. Trying to go for that down, and we're getting stopped by the get-up attack.
The last hit of up, he's shield poking. Robbing Hobbes of an opportunity to punish it. But still, Spade, 140%, going to die to an up smash. Backer not quite going to take it, but another one at the stage, part of the stage go. There's the up smash.
Outside, Hobbes going to be able to take that second stock. But Spade just immediately firing back on all cylinders. This might be able to finish out the stock. Not quite getting good to buy that LB. Spade just got a little too antsy with going for that ledge guard.
Hobbes playing this really well. Playing at a very nice pace. Not quite at the distance that Spade wants to be able to set up these projectiles risk-free, but just far enough away to where Hobbes can quickly go into the burst range. And at the second that Spade tries to go into his, the forward smash comes out. Hobbes answering with a 2-stock of his own.
That's right. That was such an amazing comeback from Hobbes after that game 1. Really showing that he was down, but certainly not out. Closing the gap with small battlefield as the counter pick clearly was the correct one.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be interested to see where Spade tries to go now. MDSR is in effect, so can't go back to PS2. So if Hobbes bans Count and Kalos, Spade, yeah, Spade could be lacking in space.
Yeah. You obviously do not want to take Mario to that. That would cause your stock to dissipate a bit.
Although I will say, Count probably not going to be banned because Mario's probably going to ban FD. So we might be seeing a time counter pick, but instead we're going to be seeing Smashville. And this was a stage that I thought Hobbes might be able to make good use of when I was talking about the counter picks for the last stage.
I have to wonder, does Spade have another character that might be on for this game number 3? After swapping Master. Or just going for the ice. And it's hard to tell at this.
Menacingly, but Lucina definitely a character that can scrap, but And in terms of like the closer quarters that Smash Bros. Provides, I definitely like it a little bit more than Young Link on paper. But we don't really know anything about Spade's Lucina. This might be the right choice, but it could also be a character counterpick that doesn't work well.
You also have to think about how warmed up is this?
Yeah.
Because we have seen that Young Link clearly polished up. Even so far as keeping even with Hobbes, but all it takes is one little burst option for Mario, and that's stock is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a thing that I like to talk about when it comes to character counterpicks called the honeymoon period, if you will, where after your opponent switches characters, usually they tend to get a little bit of an advantage while you're still trying to figure out their options. But eventually, if the character isn't on par with the character that they were just playing, you should be able to overwhelm them. And it seems like that honeymoon period ran out really quickly for Spade. Hobbes went on a tear through Lucina. There's not really a lot of flashy things that Lucina can do to come back from this, barring like a shield break.
Gotta play really carefully here. Spade and of course Hobbes playing really careful. Jumping around that shield, going for safe over that down air with the bear. Making it impossible for Spade to get anything going.
Hobbes still well into his first stock. I've actually lapped Spade in percent now. Hobbes in a really good spot to take this. Lucina not quite working out as well as we thought it would. Now, Spade needs to find this first stock, fishing for the forward airs, the back airs, anything that can get on the stock. Fireball's nearly sealing it for Hobbes, and that back air might actually do that. No jump on Spade.
Yep, Spade could jump, that's going to take it now. Hobbes won with a very dominant lead right now. Find an opening. And he's still trying to find a way to take that stock up till not going to be able to take it to the end.
I don't know if Hobbes is going for down airs just to try and tack on the extra damage, or if his throw combos might not be functional due to the rage that he's generated. But either way, Hobbes just refusing to die, living to 145. They're not going to take it either. Spade's gonna have to go out, but Hobbes with the high recovery makes it back to ledge. The fireball ensues that ensures that he'll actually get on the stage.
Hobbes still living, even at 111. Now you got something out for other filmers like that up throw might start going down for Spade, but
Up throw kills a little bit later than you think. I give it like another 15, 20%. Up tilt though, that'll do
that
it.
up tilt's just gonna completely decimate, but now that gives Hobbes a fresh start to work with. He's not as scared about approaching now.
Yeah. It wasn't even that he was scared about approaching. He was still approaching just fine. He was just knowing that he didn't have anything to lose, but still playing patiently around things. And now Spade in an awful situation. Mario has you at the ledge at disadvantage. You have to watch out for so many things. Spade manages to find an answer, and he's answered a little bit more than that. He's actually tied up the game and stocks.
That's right, and with that stage spike, I think the stock necessarily, and now only an 83% deficit. This looked impossible to now extremely possible, but ledge traps from Hobbes. When we stopped, get control center stage. Really tricky situation for both players. Both know a lot is at risk here.
Hobbes trying to find a way to take the stock. He's now in the exact same position that he put Spade in on the first stock. Up smash not going to quite take it. Fourth hit of Dancing Blade not coming out. Spade with an opportunity to take that stock, but not quite going to get it. The down smash doesn't land either. Both of these characters fishing, and unfortunately Spade fished a little bit too deep. Couldn't quite make it back to the shallow water of the stage. And Hobbes seals it 2-1.
Right, Spade just flew a little too close to the front.